Hello and welcome to my new video. This is a bit of a much shorter play and chat. I'm going to try and stay away from doing the kind of half-hour extravaganzas that I've been doing before and try and shorten them down a bit, so when it kind of forced me to make my point a bit better. So just bear with me with this video, see how it goes, and hopefully it might encourage me to make more videos, or anyway, whatever. So in this video I wanted to really touch upon how I believe that modern gaming needs to improve. One of the guys who I subscribe to, Dean Thompson, he has a channel, Escape to Gaming, Vinny Corleone 62 is his channel's name, was recently playing this game that I'm showing here, the footage. This is from Mad Max. Now, it's important to say this footage was taken a few weeks ago, while I was earlier on in the game. This is before the game had a third patch, or patch number 3, applied to it, which has created a huge number of problems for a lot of gamers. I'd fortunately pretty much completed the game by the time that patch came out, and therefore I've not played it since, and I'm not going to. There's still a few things I need to do in the game, but I'm not going to go back in it until they fix the issues. What you saw at the beginning of the clip there was me calling up a map and to have a look around the landscape. Now, one of the biggest problems with the game is that they've broke that map. Basically, at some random point, that map will stop working, and you won't be able to get back into it. It's always been a bit of an issue, but there were workarounds that fixed the problem. Like there, you saw me take out a couple of cars and pick up some scrap. In the past, that would have been sufficient enough to actually stop this issue happening. It would fix the map, but since the update, the wonderful people at Avalanche have managed to make a complete balls of that, and now you can't. You can't actually fix the map yourself. I think the only way that it's ever been fixed, seemingly, is people have just carried on playing the game in the hope that it does come back, but it does seem to be quite arbitrary, and it's really sad. This is a fantastic game. I mean, I was posting a lot of pictures up there on Twitter to try to promote the game, and since the patch, the game's just fallen apart. It's become the frame rate's dropped, there's been some other issues, and it just makes you wonder what on earth were Avalanche thinking, releasing a patch that actually broke the game to a point where, for a lot of people, it's almost unplayable. I mean, without being able to access the map, being able to find the location to do quests is nigh on impossible. I mean, Mad Max is a huge game, there's a lot of the environment to explore, like you can see here, going through these type of cave networks and what have you. You know, without being able to use the map to track objectives, it becomes extremely difficult to find your way around, the landscape, and that's sad. But Mad Max isn't the only game that's had these kind of problems. It seems to me that the vast majority of games when they launch now are all launching with issues that require patches. Now, I understand that games these days, yes, they're more complex. I understand that developers are under an exceptionally tight schedule to make games. You know, often a schedule which is virtually impossible to make a game without any bugs. But you know what? That's not a new issue. That's been an issue that's been going for a considerable period of time now in the games industry. People should be getting better at making games. You know, you're learning something. These are not rookies. These are not people who've never made a game before, where you know, you can kind of understand that it's their first effort. You know, quite often things can fall apart, things can be difficult, it's a learning curve, it's a learning process. But you know, it seems like people are not learning their art. You know, they're not improving. The same mistakes keep happening over and over again, and that's what's really annoying. You know, I was playing the Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront beta last night. I've got some footage I'll probably put up in another video at a later date, and I was really enjoying it. And at the back of my mind, all I kept thinking about was, yeah, this beta's working really well for me. It's fast, it's smooth. You know, I didn't encounter any glitches. There might be glitches in it. I personally didn't encounter any in the 2 hours or so that I spent with the game. But at the back of my mind, all I kept thinking about was how bad Battlefield 4 was when it launched, and how I really don't want to go out there investing in a game again and then have to wait. I mean, Battlefield 4, it wasn't a few weeks it was broken. They were still patching that thing nearly a year after it came out. Now that's pretty disgusting. You know, and they didn't offer any incentive. You know, they didn't offer anything in the way of compensation, as far as I'm aware. You know, it was like all they were interested in is buy more DLC, buy more DLC. It's like, fix your goddamn game, then start talking about DLC. Then start going on about that. It's really insulting as a gamer when you've spent, you know, £45, £50 on a game, or $60 on a game if you live in the US, and you know, no sooner have you parted with that money, it's give us more money, give us more money, more DLC, buy this, microtransactions. And what's even worse is if the game's broken and doesn't work properly. You know, it's like, you shouldn't be talking about us giving you more money. You should be fixing the game that you've released that's broken. And what's even more, what adds to it even more is the size of the patches. You know, I mean, the number of times I've put a game in that I've not played for a few weeks, this is more a case on the Xbox One than for me than it is on the PS4, because I need to look into the Xbox One to auto download patches, but on the PS4 it does automatically download patches. But I'm on fibre optic broadband, which from BT, as anybody follows me on Twitter knows, it's pretty crap. You know, the speeds can be all over the place. I mean, 1 minute it's okay, the next minute it's, you know, well, one time it actually was worse than dial-up. But the point I'm making is that, you know, I have to sit there, and if it's a sizable patch, you can be sat there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You know, for a patch, it's not installing the game. That's just waiting for a patch to download. The Witcher 3's got something like, I think it's a 10-15 gig patch. I mean, this is eating up. Not only that, not only is it going to take me hours to download the patch, so if I want to play that game, at the moment I just don't feel like playing it and having to download this patch. But it's also not just the time it takes to download, but it's the space it's consuming on your hard drives. I mean, a 500 gig hard drive should be more than enough. But it's not. I mean, they're now releasing the consoles with a 1 terabyte hard drive. That isn't going to be enough before long. You know, you're literally going to have a 2 terabyte hard drive. This is ridiculous. You know, a patch for a game should not be virtually rewriting the whole bloody game and sending it down the pipe. You know, I mean, I'm on fibre optic and it's crap. I mean, God knows what it's like for people who are on standard broadband. You know, that still, you know, they get about 4 or 5 meg download at best. It's becoming that gaming is almost becoming an impossibility for the average person. Not because of how much the games cost, but just the practicalities of getting the bloody game to work. You know? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, can't these people release games, just put a bit more time and effort into Q&A? All of the excuses under the sun, yeah, fine, fair enough. They've got to meet schedules, they've got to meet release dates and all this and all that. Here's an idea. How about set a realistic release date in the first place? How about the people who are running these publishing companies actually know something about fucking games? Because it's quite clear that they don't. The arsehole that is ruining Konami, or has ruined Konami, I mean, Konami are dead. I mean, they're a twitching corpse in the dust at the moment, the way things are going on there. Knows nothing about games. He doesn't know a fucking thing about video games. And he's running a video game company into the ground. I mean, that's where it starts. The problem is right there at the top with a lot of these companies. They have people who don't know a thing about video games making decisions about and setting deadlines and talking shit, and they don't understand a thing about the subject that they're in charge of. They don't know what they're talking about. And this is the problem. They set unrealistic deadlines. You've got development teams that are understaffed, overworked, but at the same time, they don't have the chat that, I don't want to give all developers a pass, because I'm sorry, if you release a patch after a game's come out that breaks the game, that's on the developer, that's not on the publisher. Okay, the publisher is not putting these guys, was not putting Avalanche Studios, Warner Brother Games was not putting Avalanche Studios under pressure to patch that game, to patch Mad Max. That was a patch that they threw out there that they didn't test. That's their fault. Okay? There was no rush for that patch. Now there's a rush for a patch, and we don't even know if there's one coming for Mad Max. They're aware of the issue, they've said, but they've not said that a patch is incoming to fix it. And how do we know it's even going to fix it? How do we know it's not going to break the game in some other way? And Dean's made the point about, he's cancelled his pre-orders, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's wrong when, as a gamer, you don't feel that you can get excited and pre-order these games anymore because you're fearful that the bloody thing is going to be broke on launch day, and you're going to be stuck with something that could be for days, weeks, maybe even months that is broken. You're paying the top price for it. You're getting a game that's broken. Where's the incentive here? What, they throw a few cheapo crappy things, in a special edition box, or you can get early access to a weapon skin or something. That's your incentive? No, you're not buying a game because of that. You're buying it because you want it to work. And the thing is, the common sense thing now is to wait a couple of months. Not only is the game likely to be in a better state to play, unless it's Mad Max, but also the chances are it's going to be $10, $20, $30 or pounds cheaper. So you're actually going to save money, and you're going to get a game that's more than likely going to be in a better working state than the one at launch. Luxuries. So what exactly is the incentive anymore to buy a game at launch? I don't see any. And that's not the way it should be. There are 3 or 4 games I really want this year that I'm worried about getting. Like Dean, he's cancelled his pre-orders. I mean, I'm worried about getting the games too. I'm worried about going out there when the games come out, getting them home, sitting there for half a day while the damn thing installs and a day one patch downloads, and then find out that, a few hours into the game, oh, it's broken. It's crashing, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. It just spoils the enjoyment. It takes it away. It ruins the experience. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. And that shouldn't be the case. They're not giving these games away for free. Let's be honest here. They're charging money for these experiences. And it's about time that I think we just took a step back and said, look, unless you start to honour your end of it and give us a working product, it might, from our perspective, and we shouldn't have to do this. But it's just getting that way now where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to pre-order games anymore. I'm not going to go out there and go and get them on day one, because you're taking advantage of the fact that gamers are tolerating this. And I think we need to stop tolerating it. I think we really need to go away and have a look at how we consume the games, how we buy the games, and start sending a message out to developers that we're only going to buy this stuff when it works, and force the developers and publishers to reanalyze the timescale that they give to games, the quality assurance that they skimp on in games, and give us a better gaming experience in the long run, because things are just getting worse. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on the matter. Thanks for watching this video. I'll probably be back with more videos to come pretty soon. So stay tuned, and once again, thank you for watching.